Two HOA cops once pulled their guns on my wife over a parking spot. They thought they were enforcing community standards, but they didn't know she trains Green Berets how to fold men twice their size in half. That night, I realized something terrifying. We weren't just dealing with an overzealous HOA. We were caught in a war. Let me rewind. My name's Mark Miller. I'm a writer, and 6 months before all this, I thought Serenity Oaks would be a quiet neighborhood to settle into. My wife Heather and I wanted peace after years of city sirens, paper-thin walls, and neighbors who sounded like they were rehearsing tap dance routines at 3 a.m. We dreamed of grilling burgers in the backyard, waving to friendly neighbors, maybe even growing some roses. That dream lasted about 5 minutes right up until Karen became HOA president. She didn't run against anyone, she just slipped into the role like a crown that had been waiting for her head. Tight perm smile that never reached her eyes, rules flowing out like sermons. She didn't just enforce bylaws, she weaponized them. The first strike came in the form of a ceramic gnome. Heather picked him up at a garage sale, Bartholomew with a red hat and goofy grin. Within a week, a cream-colored notice slid under our door. Your lawn ornament violates Bylaw 7C item not harmonious within community standards. A $25 fine stapled to a photo of the gnome circled in red like a mugshot. I joked about an unharmonious breathing fee. Heather, calm as ever, murmured, "It's a probe. She's testing our perimeter." We sent the check but left the gnome where he stood. A silent challenge. That's how it started, small, petty, absurd. But then Karen turned the screws. A neighbor fined for leaving his trash bin out 10 minutes too long. Another for coiling his garden hose in an oval instead of a perfect circle. Stories whispered over fences like campfire tales of a tyrant. And then one morning I found my roses, deep red blooms Heather had helped me plant, wilted, poisoned, the chemical stink still hanging in the air. Beside them lay an empty bottle of industrial weed killer deliberately left behind. I wanted to storm across the street, pound on her beige door, scream until the cops came. But Heather stopped me. That's what she wants. She wants you to lose control. Instead, she picked up the bottle with the tissue, slipped it into a bag, and said one word: file. So we began building one. A file of evidence: gnome, fine, dead roses, photos, times, dates. It felt ridiculous, but it also felt like armor. Because Karen wasn't acting alone anymore. She'd created the compliance patrol, two thick-necked guys in navy polos who drove a white sedan with HOA compliance stenciled on the side. They broke a neighbor's birdbath, claimed it was non-native avian habitat. They snapped photos, left violation slips circled like sharks. People were scared. 2 families sold their homes in a panic. And then my package disappeared. Rare research book tracking showed delivered. Our camera caught the white sedan rolling by, package on the porch, 1 minute gone the next. Cops shrugged. "Civil matter, sir." That's when Karen did the unthinkable. She walked her poodle past our house, stopped in front of our camera, and looked right into the lens. Then she smiled. A slow, triumphant smile that chilled my blood. She knew we couldn't touch her. She knew the system wouldn't care. And I started to wonder, how do you fight someone who plays dirty when you're still trying to play fair? The answer came from Trevor, our jittery neighbor who saw conspiracies everywhere. One night he called, voice trembling but sharp. Mark's 6 houses sold in the last 6 months, all to the same shell company. Oak Haven Development Group. Formed right after Karen became president. No website, no phone, just a P.O. box. I pulled up the records. He was right. Families driven out, homes scooped up for pennies. Heather's eyes hardened. This isn't a power trip. It's a land grab. She's just the hammer. Someone else is swinging it. That revelation broke something in me. I sat on the porch at dusk listening to cicadas and whispered to Heather, maybe we should just sell. Walk away. Find peace somewhere else. The words tasted like ash. I hated myself for saying them, but part of me meant it. Was I really ready to risk everything over a house? Heather didn't answer for a long time, then finally said, if we run, they win, and they'll just do it again. This isn't about the house anymore. It's about people like Trevor the Gables, every family too scared to fight back. This is our home. You don't give it up without a fight. That was the turning point. I had wanted quiet. What I got was a battlefield. But if Heather wasn't backing down, neither was I. We hatched a plan. My role: go to the next HOA meeting and surrender. Apologize. Wave the white flag. Pretend Karen had broken me. Her role: slip into the compliance patrol's car and plant a listening device. It was dangerous, maybe illegal, but it was the only way to pierce the fog. The meeting was everything I expected. Karen at the head table, board members nodding like bobbleheads, neighbors beaten down begging for mercy over fines. When it was my turn, I stood and said, "I'm here to apologize. My wife and I, we just want to be good neighbors. We'll pay the fines, remove the gnome." Gasps. Karen's smug face lit up like Christmas. She thought she'd won. While she basked, Heather was in the shadows, sliding into the patrol car, planting the bug under the seat. She almost got caught. One of the goons spotted her, chased her into the woods. Later she came home with a scratch on her cheek, calm, as if she'd just gone for a jog. "He won't remember much," she said flatly. I realized then Karen had no idea what kind of enemy she was dealing with. That night we listened to the bug. The goons were scared, whispering about the boss. They never said Oak Haven, they said him. Karen was just a messenger, and then a name dropped like a bomb in my living room. Mr. Sterling. My heart froze. Sterling wasn't just some faceless developer. Sterling was my brother David. We hadn't spoken in 5 years after an ugly inheritance fight. He changed his last name, disappeared. And now he was back orchestrating this nightmare from the shadows. Not for profit, not for land, for revenge. Every fine, every act of vandalism, every sleepless night, it was all his design just to break me. The recording grew darker. Karen ordered the goons to escalate, slash Trevor's tires, break windows, and for us, make it hurt. An electrical fire. Take the whole house. They were planning to burn us alive. That was the moment fear turned to steel. Heather said it first. Then we let them come. We fortified the house like a fortress. Magnetic locks, floodlights, sprinklers wired to motion sensors, hidden cameras in every room. I called the sheriff's office, calmly logged a suspicion. Heather set traps like a soldier prepping for battle. My job would be the voice through the PA system while she handled the fight. At 2:13 a.m., the white sedan rolled up. 2 shadows crept toward the garage, gas cans in hand. The lock clicked shut behind them. Lights cut. Strobe fired. My voice thundered through the speakers, distorted low. "Welcome to the party." They panicked, stumbling, cursing. One drew a pistol. Heather appeared in the doorway, tactical gear, holding a shockwave gun. "You're in violation of Bylaw 12. No flammable materials in unapproved containers." He fired. The shot missed, punching my workbench. Heather fired back. The blast of compressed air slammed him into the wall, gun clattering. His partner lunged with another weapon, but she twisted his wrist, dropped him into a pile of paint cans. Gasoline spilled across the floor. I hit the final switch. Foam rained from the ceiling, smothering everything. In under a minute, both men were disarmed, coughing in a puddle of fire retardant. Heather stood untouched, holding their guns like trophies. And then came the knock. Not just any knock, Karen pounding on the front door, bathrobe flapping, demanding to know why her arsonists were late. Behind her, blue and red lights flashed. The sheriff's deputies swarmed in, finding foam-covered thugs in our garage, 2 unregistered pistols on the hood of my car, and Karen screaming about her employees. I handed the lead deputy a thumb drive. "This will explain everything." By dawn, Karen was cuffed, her goons in custody. Within days, the HOA's funds were frozen, its charter dissolved. Cornered Karen flipped on my brother. SWAT stormed his penthouse, finding paper trails and bank accounts tied to the entire scheme. He wasn't building a development empire, he just wanted to destroy me. And now he'll be spending decades behind bars. That's where the story ends. Not with a barbecue or a neighborhood block party, but with Karen's furious screams echoing as the cops shoved her into the cruiser, and the realization that my own brother orchestrated it all. Sometimes the worst wars you fight aren't overseas or in some boardroom. They're right across the street, hidden behind pastel siding and HOA bylaws. And if there's one lesson I'll never forget, it's this: bullies only win when you let them.